I'm finishing off my day today in, of all places, Albury. Now, Albury is nowhere in the double electorate, not even near the double electorate. But I've been down in this part of the state for two reasons. The first was I wanted to catch up with Dr. Joe McGurr. He's the current member for the seat of Wagga Wagga. Many people would know that he won that election very recently in a by-election. The previous member, Darryl Maguire, made some admissions at a corruption inquiry and was effectively forced to resign. He'd held the seat for something like 19 years, and that seat's been held by the Liberal Party for 61 years. So people thought it was a pretty safe seat, but Joe came in as an independent and managed to win that seat. Now, I want to catch up with Joe for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I wanted some advice. I wanted to talk to him about his election campaign, how he did it, and just get any tips that he had in relation to that. So it was good to have a discussion around that whole campaigning. His campaign was very compressed because a by-election was called and he had a very short amount of time to make the decision to run, and then obviously a short amount of time to get everything together to run. He did very well, won the seat. Congratulations to Joe for winning that seat. The second reason I wanted to talk to him was I wanted to start to establish a relationship with Joe because I think and I hope he does get re-elected at the 23rd of March election next year for the seat of Wagga Wagga. Obviously I'm hoping that I get elected for the electorate of Dubbo, or for the seat of Dubbo. And basically, I want to make sure that I've got some relationships with people who may be sitting there in minority parties or as independents, because it may well be up to us to form government if a minority government is to be formed, or if we hold the balance of power. And there's a pretty good chance that will be the case. So I wanted to make sure I had a relationship with Joe so that if we are elected, I can go in already having met him, already having had discussion with him. And I spent a couple of hours talking to Joe today, and I think that was really important. After I finished that meeting, I came down to the launch of a Albury Wodonga tourist brochure, but I mainly wanted to catch up with the Mayor of Albury. And I do know the Mayor of Albury quite well. We spent some time together when we were both mayors, but most importantly, he's currently the chair of Evo Cities. Now, I was the chair of Evo Cities until the amalgamation, and he took over basically straight after me. And I just wanted to make sure I still had my head wrapped around what was happening in Evo Cities and what was important to Evo Cities. I think Evo Cities is an incredibly important program for regional development, but I wanted to hear it from Kevin and make sure I was still going down the right track in relation to Evo Cities and the potential that Evo Cities has. So I'm just about finished now. I'm going to jump in the car. I'm going to stay in Junee tonight, stay in a motel there, mainly because they've got a charging point so I can charge my car up. It's been a long day in the car. When I get back to Junee, I'll be just about flat. So I'll charge up there, and I'm off tomorrow. I've got a meeting in Bathurst, and then I've got a few people that I'll see around the Mumble area. In fact, I'm going to a Progress Association meeting in Mumble tomorrow night. This has been Mathew Dickerson, your independent voice.